Hey everyone, I'm Sarah Fish.
And I'm Brandon Price.
And this is Fish
or Price Ranch.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Sarah with Fish or Price Ranch. First off, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So I thought I'd do an update on Boma the pig. She's right behind me here. And as you can see, Zara is also in the pen behind me. So let me show you guys how we're doing over here. Well, there's Boma. She is getting super big. Still no babies. But if you look, her nipples are really starting to stick out. Her mammary glands are getting really big, and she's getting quite large now. So she's definitely getting closer. I would say, if our calculations are correct, because we never saw her breed after we got her, she'd have to be due, or had to have been bred before we picked her up. And that would make it that she would be due. Hey, everybody calm down. What's going on? Anyway, that would mean she'd had to have been bred before we got her, and she would be due by July 17th. Today is July 13th, I believe. So if it goes as planned, she'd be due in the next 4 days. So we're going to see what happens. But she definitely has not had her piglets yet. As for Zari here, she finally did go into heat, so she is in here with Thor getting bred. She's been in here for about a week, so she's got a couple more days of her heat cycle, and they'll be putting her back with her goats. There's Pork Chop, getting all huge. So we're actually about a week away. We started our breeding season with our goats, and the boys are already starting to stink, and they're practicing, getting prepared. So we have to sit down and figure out a schedule on how we're going to breed the goats in which pens, because we have so many boys that we use, and not all of our pens are built yet. So we're going to figure out where we're going to put all of them to prepare for breeding season. So if you guys remember kind of our setup, we have the chicken pen as soon as you come down the driveway here. The chicken pen, then we have this pen, which is what the bucks are in now. Then we have our pig pen, which is right here. And then after that, we have a pasture, which we have empty at the moment. And then we have the next pasture, which the girls are in, and then we have their courtyard. We also do have the quarantine pen, which is down below, and that is split in two. So the problem is we're not using all the boys, so we can't take everybody out of this pen. So I can't use this pen for breeding. We're going to be using 5 boys for the start of this breeding season. We're doing 3 this year. So we're doing this one in July, which is toward the end of July. We're going to probably start around the 20th or so. And then we're going to be breeding our partner's goats in September, and then after that we'll breed the other part of our goats in October. So we haven't got our new buck yet, which you guys have not seen much about him yet, but he's supposed to be hopefully coming within the next few weeks, and then we can do a video on him. We'll be using him in October because he's not here yet. So we're going to be using 5 of our boys. So we have a chicken pen, we do have a pig pen, maybe we could put them in. We have one pasture we can use because not all the girls are getting bred, so I can't just put them with all the girls because we have young ones that are too young, they can't be bred yet. We do have the quarantine, which is 2 pens. The problem is if you have your bucks sharing a fence line, they tend to fight through the fence with each other, and that's how you ruin your fence. Or they get kind of ballsy and they decide to jump the fence, and then we have them with wrong does. So the quarantine pen isn't huge, so I think what we might do is Galaxy, our new buckling. He's about 5 or 6, 7 months old, somewhere around there. And then we have Sorrel, who is going on about 7 months. So they're about the same age, but they're young. So you could see Sorrel right here behind us. So he's not super big. I don't think he could scale a fence, and same with Galaxy. So those 2 might be the boys that we would put down in quarantine. They'd each get their own pen with their own separate girls. But the big boys are the ones that we have to worry about, so we need to try not to share a fence line with them. So I guess we'll kind of go over a little bit of our breeding ideas and who's kind of going to go with who. So here's all of our boys. Come on, guys. Come on. So the boys that we're going to be using this year is Sorrel. Now Sorrel is out of Pinky, and she's one of our best milking goats, so we want to wanted to add a little bit better milking lines on our buck side. That's the reason that we retained him. So we're going to be putting him with some of our yearlings, well, the 1.5 years, but that are from of our doe milk lines, and hopefully we can get some daughters that have really good milk lines out of both sides of their parents. So that's the reason we're using Sorrel, and he's young, so we don't want to put him with full-size girls, only because we don't know if he'd be able to reach them just yet. Galaxy is our other little guy, and he's mainly kind of color and hardiness, but I do believe that his mother did have some pretty good milk lines. So most of our boys are out of decent milk lines at least, but we're going to be putting him with, I think, 2 or 3 girls that are also younger, because he is still small. I don't know if he'd be able to reach him yet. Hawthorne's our only purebred buck that we're going to be using. He's given us quite a few really nice girls, daughters that we're retaining. So I think he's going with 4 girls. And then our new guy here, Paladin, he's a 2-year-old, and he's a really tall guy, and really nice structure on his body style. So we're curious to see how he's going to do for us this year. We've seen some of his offspring in pictures, not really in person, but they do look pretty good. So we're curious to see how he does. And then, of course, Bazooka over there. He's one of our best breeders. He's given us some really, really nice kids, so we definitely want to continue using him. He throws really fast-growing kids that look really, really nice. Hey, bud, what do you think, huh? Are you ready for breeding season to start, huh? Are you? So we're excited, of course, to use Bazooka. We just absolutely love his kids. So those are the bucks that we're going to be using for this current breeding season. And they're all fighting and humping each other and practicing and getting their cologne all over themselves, and just getting ready for the ladies here in another week or so. So as you all know, I tend to write things down a lot, and then I write them down again and again until pretty much up until the point where I use all of my information. So I'm going to show you guys kind of how we designed our breeding schedules and who's getting who. So I always keep a list in my binder here of all the goats that we have on the whole property. Got New Zealand, purebred, percentage, and then our boys, and then our meat and wethers, which will actually be sending these to Bruce and Reed to the butcher here pretty shortly. And then there's, of course, our partners, all their goats. And you don't want to see that. Okay. So here's kind of how I make the list for breeding season. So I put all my boys in, and then I make a list of all the girls that we're going to put them with. So all the ones with dots are going to be the ones that are going to be bred in October. All the other ones will be bred now. So Bazooka is going to be getting 3, 4, 5 girls. Paladin is going to be getting 4 girls. This one, he's not here yet, so all these ones will end up being in October. Sorrel, which is our milker guy, the heavy milk lines, he's getting 5. And then we have Galaxy, the speckled boy, is only getting 2, and then Hawthorne's going to be getting 4. And then, like I said, in October, after our partner, which we have not done this yet for our partner's goats, we need to sit down and have this conversation and get prepared. We've still got couple of months before September, but I like to be prepared before we actually start breeding so I know where everybody's going. So anyway, we'll be breeding these, then we'll be breeding his, and then we'll be breeding all these other ones in October. So that's kind of our lineup for breeding. You guys can kind of scan through that. If you guys follow the Kikos, you can maybe see some of the bloodlines that you might recognize. But anyway, so we're really excited for breeding season. Of course, then once that's over, then we're just going to be anxiously awaiting the kids. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be doing a video as we do move the goats into breeding pens in another week or so, and then we'll kind of show you guys how we're going to do that, and once we figure out where we're going to put them all. Only because I can't move all the boys because we're not using all of them, and I can't use all the girls because we're not using all of them, so that's 2 pens that we already can't use. We have the chicken pen that we could possibly use, but it does share a fence line with the buck pen, along with the pig pen also does the same thing. So it kind of limits us quite a bit. We do luckily have that quarantine pen down there, so definitely 2 boys with their girls can go down there. And we'll do the younger boys so they don't ruin our fence. But we still have 3 boys that we got to figure out where they're going to go with their girls. So that's going to be the difficult part until we can get more pens built. But until then, going to have to make do. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you again soon.